It metabolizes protein just by looking at it.
We're live.
Fantastic.
Oh my God. But no, we're just talking about CJ's ability to metabolize protein just by simply looking at it.
Yeah, after 10 minutes of me and V fucking bitching about our metabolism and testosterone, TJ's crushing a mountain of cheese with fucking straight Jack Daniels.
I love it. You gotta love this guy. No wonder he's the producer extraordinaire.
Yeah, dude, the fucking testosterone of a 19-year-old.
Seriously, I envy you, Siege. Damn it.
No, well, what I was gonna start telling you, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, just take it live because whatever. If we have our, I don't think there's anything wrong with us talking about health either.
No, it's Cuss with Gus. Health is wealth, man.
Anything goes, right? Exactly.
Right.
I don't know if you've noticed this too as you've gotten older, but I have always like had massive. Well, what most people might consider massive weight fluctuations.
Oh yeah.
For guys who are heavy into like exercising and fitness, it's really not. You could between water retention and muscle mass and all that. You could manipulate your. I could fluctuate 10, 15 pounds in 1 week just by playing water weight right.
Right.
But here's what I've realized, and it didn't hit me till. It hit me. I started losing strength, explosive strength, like my sprinting ability and powerlifting. I started losing that probably around 30, but I'm like, whatever. I just increased endurance training and cleaned up the diet significantly.
Yeah.
But here's what started happening at 37. It was, dude, putting weight. I used to be able to put on 20 pounds, 30 pounds in a bad quarter. During a holiday season, call it 2-3 months, I'd put on 20, 30 pounds. And I'd be able to burn it off in 6 to 8 weeks. I'm like, all right, here's what now, dude, I've struggled losing like the 15 pounds I put on since the election.
Oh, dude,
like,
totally.
So yeah. So the days of me being able to shed 25, 30 pounds in 6 to 8 weeks, like that's 5 years, that's gone. So it's like, yeah, if I let myself go, like even 10, 15 pounds, it's like it's a 3 to 5 month struggle now. Like where, and I think and maybe I'm fucking crazy. I think the answer is just not putting it on in the first place anymore. Like I could pull that shit off at 25, 30 years old. But at 40, it just doesn't come off as much, dude. And I think like you said, it's everything. It's testosterone levels. It's fucking diet. It's explosion. It's all of it.
I recommend every man that, like, if you're in your late 30s, in your early 40s, even in your late 50s at this point, get on testosterone replacement therapy, man. It is a life changer. I'm not talking about some stupid andro gel that these idiot doctors will prescribe to you. I'm not talking about like getting some stupid patch or popping a pill that was going to ruin your liver because it's a C17 alkylate. What I'm talking about is getting shots, injections of testosterone. Now, technology and research has gone to the point where you can do it subcutaneously. You don't got to get these huge 18-gauge intramuscular needles that look like something from hell, and you can just do subcutaneous shots. It's made a life. It is the way that you cheat, you cheat death. It is the way you maintain health and vigor and vim. Because I'll tell you right now, man, I mean, you got everything environmentally and within the food supply that is destroying testosterone. Look at these beta male cucks. Look at these idiots that were tearing down Confederate statues and standing on top of them. And I'm looking at these fat, out of shape young dudes with boobs. And dude, I used to joke about the Pantifa, and it turns out it's true. They're catching more and more Pantifa members wearing women's underwear. Did you notice that?
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong. Two things. I think the whole like doctors prescribing testosterone has, like I said, has become a lot more mainstream.
Yeah.
The last 3 to 5 years, and you could, without going down the conspiracy rabbit hole, I don't think it's that hard. When you look at like natural production of the estrogen versus testosterone debate and how to balance those levels, I don't think it's conspiratorial to say, dude, so much of like the mainstream food supply that you find in a grocery store is just juiced full of estrogen and processed foods and bullshit. So they've like ran tests, like genetic tests on like testosterone levels from like the last 150 years, you know, the generational testosterone levels, and just how, which might explain a lot. It might explain the whole Brooklyn hipster fucking movement, like all these like little like fucking pansies running around. That it's the testosterone levels of every generation seem to be fucking decreasing, which explains a lot, maybe. And I don't know. I started paying a lot closer attention to it because it has become so mainstream. Like half the shit you hear now isn't necessarily talking about diet and eating clean. It's more focused on testosterone levels, either enhancing them through a doctor's prescription, or if you're not willing to go that route, then you have to find natural ways to manipulate them through exercise or through flawless foods that boost diet and minimize estrogen levels, etc.
You know, the funny thing is that if you're trying to boost testosterone levels, man, and your diet is shit, you still got a dirty diet, what is the point? You're not fixing habits. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you get on T, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It is a gift. You know, don't squander it.
No, man. If at 20, from 20 to 30,
are you on the film studio for Fast and Furious?
You could hear that. That's just obnoxious fucking name. I'm on the. It's pick your poison. It's either cigars or whiskey on the balcony or Echo. It's on the hardwood floors inside.
Cigars and whiskey on the balcony, bro, all day.
Yeah. But at 20 to 30, dude, from 20 to 30, I would literally work out 45 minutes, heavy weights, blah blah blah. Eat double cheeseburgers whenever the fuck I felt like it. Put down 18 beers if I felt like it. Like, and then something happens in your 30s, dude. You know, especially mid to late 30s. Yep. Yeah, you look at a fucking French fry and you put 5 pounds of water on it.
Unless you're CJ smashing mountains of cheese and drinking.
Hey, you know what? If the radical left can get, you know, hormone therapy, then we can get testosterone therapy. Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
That might be the key. They're going one direction, we're going another. Yeah,
I mean, look at most of the Pantifa men are a bunch of like post-menopausal. They're like injecting menopausal hormones into themselves to make them go crazy. They're like a bunch of irate menopausal women, dude. I don't know what the hell it is.
Well, dude, you know what's fucking funny? And we could make a million analogies about that. That you'll notice, like, in a lot of these riots and shit, they put their women on the front lines.
They do.
Like it's like a reverse chivalry thing. Like, women are strong. Go in there and beat someone with a stick, and if you get hit back, so be it.
Yeah. We've seen Wonder Woman. Go ahead, go, girly, go.
Yeah, dude, I finally saw that last night.
How is it?
Dude, you haven't seen it yet?
No, not yet. I'm gonna buy it when it comes out. I'm just gonna watch it. I think Gal Gadot. First of all, she's smoking hot.
Yeah.
Secondly, she killed it on that role. She killed it. She looks like Wonder Woman right out of the comic books. And I know everybody's talking about Linda Carter, but come on, let's move on.
No, it's not, dude. It's not bad. I wasn't as incredibly. There weren't as many feminist, jabs and haymakers and uppercuts as I thought. Like take Man of Steel, for example, the original. Yeah. It's very libertarian leaning, especially when he, like, at the end when he starts knocking down drones and he's like, you're not gonna be able to control me or spy on me, fuck you. Like, right. So it wasn't as libertarian leaning as that, but it also wasn't as and I think a lot of the feminists have actually bitched about it. Like, why didn't she have armpit hair, or why is she so
exactly. Yeah. Why does she have armpit hair? Because she's Gal Gadot.
Because she's fucking a 10. She's smoking. Hot. Yeah, she's fucking. She's beyond smoking, dude. Yeah, dude. So it's pretty good. It's longer, but it's not bad. Like I said, there's a few things. There's a couple like liberal cringe moments in there, but it's not over the top feminist. Like, they actually have like a man actually does something heroic in the end and sacrifices it without ruining it. Like, there's some like, oh yeah, actually men can be good too. Like, look, if something heroic's happening. Right. So yeah, it's not as anti-man as they could have done it, which is good.
I heard the most libertarian superhero movie out there is Black Panther, and people are saying to really go out, if you care about libertarianism and free markets, to go out and support the Black Panther, because the entire thing is so libertarian. The guy's like total anti-SJW, doesn't care what's happening to his, to countries on his own continent. He only cares about his own nation. It's just very nationalistic, very libertarian. Black Panther.
Has it been released yet?
I don't know. CJ, has Black Panther been released?
I don't think so. Not yet. Let me look up. I'll look up the date.
Yeah, give us a date.
Yeah, I waited for Wonder Woman. I waited till it actually fucking got released on Apple TV.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, CJ, are we both nerds when it comes to that kind of shit? Are you a Star Wars nerd too, CJ?
Wait, Wonder Woman's out on Apple TV?
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Yeah, I think it just came. No, let me look. You got me looking up two things now at once.
Sorry. I got Apple TV. Oh, shit.
Wonder. I watched it on Apple TV last night.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman is there, and then Black what?
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
I don't think that's out yet. That's not out yet.
Not yet, right?
Trailer's out, but not the movie.
Got it.
I hope you're right. I hope they do take it that way, like the libertarian, nationalist way.
Black Panther, February 16th, 2018.
I'm gonna be watching that, boys.
There's a lot of power. There's a lot of power in, and they already know this because that's why they have hijacked it for so long. There's a lot of power in movies and television. The message that they could give, and so that's why, like, when I come across something like Man of Steel, that does have very anti oligarch, anti-government, anti-eugenics type feel, that I actually genuinely enjoy it. And I think shit like that is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It is.
But then, because they spend so much time pounding Hollywood with the social justice warrior bullshit and the postmodern bullshit, that when something is like a breath of fresh air, that's a fucking good thing.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, man.
Have you been watching the last week as their heads explode when they see strong, burly men carrying babies and women and children and pets out of water in flooded areas, and they get really upset about it?
Dude, I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking about all the triggering that is happening right now because the left, where's all these strong feminine women that are wading through the water to lift up homeless people and old people and other women and children and put them on their shoulders and carrying them out of harm's way and pulling up debris and fallen tree branches and tree trunks. Where are all these heroic women that Hollywood keeps trying to sell us, man? The type of G.I. Janes, the type of, women that could, like in, what's that stupid thing? Blonde Ultra, that Charlize Theron movie, where she's doing the feminine jabs and guys are flying 10 feet. I mean, get the hell out of here. Where are those girls at? Nowhere to be seen.
There's a quote about you'll never find an atheist in a foxhole.
Correct.
Like everyone finds God when they're think they're dying. You'll never find a feminist on a sinking ship.
No. So
because when a ship starts sinking, it's women and children first. Women and children first. So yeah, you'll never find a feminist on a sinking ship. It's like,
nope.
Yeah, bet your ass it's like. So it's all bullshit. And it's funny, like you see all these heroic men of every fucking background, ideology. You see these men pulling out babies and women and dogs and selfless acts of bravery and rescue and the first responders, and dude, it angers the liberals. It's like that's a trigger of saving people's lives is triggering for them. It's fucking awesome. I love it, and it kind of shows their fucking true colors. Oh God, that man, it's so disgusting. That man is saving puppies. What the fuck is he doing?
I had this debate with my cousin, a cousin of mine, my God, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And it was about 15 years ago. No, make it 17 years ago at this point. So here she is. She is, just started at Mackenzie's. right? The most prestigious marketing firm where Hillary Clinton works at. No, not Hillary, I mean Chelsea Clinton, you know. And she climbed the corporate rung, you know, it's up there. And we get into a debate. She's like, you know, testosterone's so overrated. Like, you know, just typical Ivy League hipster type way. She goes, we don't need men, blah, blah, blah. You know, just this machismo. It's so fake. It's so overrated, blah, blah, blah. And here I am, the gym rat. I'm sitting there listening to her drivel. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let's put it this way. Testosterone to you might be a bad word, but if you were being mugged in the alley, you'd want a big, strong, aggressive male to be there to save your ass. And then she's like, nah, she had nothing to say to that. And then, of course, she eventually gets married to a beta. It's just, yeah. But, you know, it's the aggressive rule of principles.
And they'll pop out a bunch of beta kids, and the guy will be miserable and deal with anxiety his whole life.
Yep.
And it won't, you know, it'll be a big mystery as to why.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, it's when you start battling against science, genetics, and biology, and like you've made the case a million times. Like they're throwing off the natural order of things.
Yeah, they really
like they want to make believe everything's like a social construct, and they try to make a causation. They make the causation correlation argument that it's all about testosterone equals Ike Turner. Like it's all a bunch of guys beating wives, and, you know, blah blah blah.
Meanwhile, Adolf Hitler's probably the poster child of low testosterone, dude. He was so hyper aggressive.
Yo, huge vegetarian, huge beta,
huge animal lover, you know.
Hitler might be the original social justice warrior.
he literally was, and that's what happens to social justice warriors. You know, they turn to Hitler's and Stalin's.
I told you, it might have been before we went on air. If I go more than like a week or two without exercise, or the diet really goes to shit, and blah blah blah, like I'm a different person. I'm very antsy. I'm very moody, very depressed. I basically started acting like a bitch.
Right.
Like out of control emotions, blah blah blah. Like, so yeah, there's definite significant, you know, causation between a man being a man and testosterone levels, and, you know, all of it. I think it's all very, very fucking important. If your body's fucked up, your mind isn't far behind, and vice versa. If your mind's fucked up, your body's not far behind.
Yeah.
And that ties into stress levels and anxiety levels. And I think that might, which you can get down the argument of like stress and cortisol levels. Like, I think that is partially why, you know, not only did I put on weight during like the Cubs World Series and the election run, but like I've had a hard time taking it off because I think my cortisol levels are still, like, I'm still stressed out all the time. Like because the whole political environment is so fucking, you know, toxic and stressful, and you follow the news and you fucking lose your mind, like out of anger and depression and stress and blah blah blah. It's like it's not a healthy state. I mean, you can't ignore it, but when that's all you focus on, it's like, dude, like I constantly need a fucking punching bag around me or something. Like it's fucking, it all matters, and that's why the old Greek saying is "pan metron ariston," which translated means everything in moderation. Like too much anything is bad. Too much exercise is bad. Too much anal retentive health stuff is bad. Too much politics is bad. Too much work is bad.
Too much hot water enemas are bad.
I need an enema.
I need a hot water enema.
Yeah, I think you got to balance it all. Like if you're just working or just focusing on politics, or all you do is live in I don't think the guys who live in the fucking gym are the healthiest people either. Like I think they've gone berserk.
Yeah, any sort of obsession like that, you gotta have balance. I mean, there are guys, all they do is eat steamed chicken and broccoli with brown rice every day, 3 times a day. I mean, they walk around smelling like steamed chicken and broccoli. It's disgusting. I'm like, dude, you go to your house, you smell like steamed chicken and broccoli. What the hell's wrong with you? Here, smell a donut, please. Smell a donut. Just smell it. You might like
dude,
it.
Dude, I felt guilty to that for like 6 months, like when I was like 30 years old, maybe 3 or 6 months, and I just couldn't live like that anymore. Like you can't even be fun to be around, and I won't even fucking date a girl if she eating healthy is one thing, but if she's like overly fucking anal about everything, like I can't fucking be around her. Like it's one thing to be a high maintenance order and be healthy. It's another thing where the whole world has to revolve around your insecurities. Like, okay, there's a little bit of avocado oil in your fucking salad dressing, you'll be fine. Like, yeah, exactly. It's like, oh my God. Like if you're that insecure that like you literally have to, that's when you start getting into eating disorders and shit. It's like, no, thank you, but no thanks. Yeah. I have my own problems. I don't need other people's problems.
Exactly right, my man. Exactly right.
No, it's dude, it's all important shit, man. And again, I think it's a balance. You have to don't be a total fucking psycho about anything, or you're gonna get carried away with it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Hurricane Harvey, man, and all the things that's going on.
What do you think long term about it? Do you think it's gonna? I haven't even talked to you about it at all. It's the first time we've spoken about it. Did the mayor drop the ball? Is gas fucked? The looting's going on right now. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, the looting's going on right now. I mean, you got all sorts of looting happening as we speak. I think the mayor's a fucking moron. Part of my French, even though this is Cuss with Gus. But yeah, I mean, the guy's an idiot. I mean, who tells his people, and his own quotes, his own words was, no need to evacuate, just arrange the furniture in your house just in case.
Have you ever noticed that liberals actually love looters? Like they stick up for them?
They do.
And
they love Pantifa too.
I'm not talking about the looters. I'm not talking about like the starving family who's like needs water and bread. I'm talking about like they're like, oh yeah, it's a disaster. You can't give them. And like they're talking about people who are like walking out with TVs. Like dude, there's no bread and water at Best Buy, asshole.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, they're not trying to feed their family. They're just fucking stealing stereos. Like, but it's amazing. The liberals, like they try to pay. They refuse to throw any criminal activity under the bus, unless it's like a falsely accused frat guy of saying hi to a feminist at a party or something. They hate or they love like sticking up for all criminal activity. It's incredible.
It really is, man. It truly is, and and because of all the internet shaming, because of all that's been happening now, the media is finally starting to backpedal against Antifa, and Nancy Pelosi, the idiot, is also trying to backtrack and lambaste Pantifa as the evil incarnation that they are. We're winning the narrative. The narrative, they're not winning. The left is not getting any sort of traction, even with all their violence, even with all the spinning, even with all the Donald Trump didn't say enough. What more could he possibly say when it comes to that Charlottesville nonsense, right? Donald Trump's not doing enough for the Houston thing. What more can he possibly do?
Bro, it only took them 2 years of burning cities. Like finally, enough reporters have been beat up the last couple weeks, where by Antifa that they're like, all right, fuck it, they're beating up reporters now. I guess we finally have to give in, because dude, it happened right after it happened in Seattle, right after Charlottesville. It happened again at Berkeley. Let's just lay it all out. They beat up people. They attack people, sometimes with weapons. They burn everything in sight. They steal shit. Like they're straight up. They are like a terrorist organization, dude. And the fact that the media and the politicians have given them political cover for 2 years is really, really fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And it apparently it took a few of their own finally getting beat the fuck out of for them to be like, all right, we can't hide it anymore. They're beating up fucking reporters. We have to start being honest about it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's gotten so ridiculous, man. And did you see the CNN reporter getting cursed out by the poor lady who just literally came out of the rain with her kids?
Dude,
Did you
that was
see that?
fucking awesome. That was awesome. Did you see what the fuck's his name?
Dude, you have the mic. And that idiot Jim Acosta, the
That's
stupid
his name.
moron.
Yeah, that's his name. Dude, that's Trump's favorite punching bag.
He really is.
Dude, his mouth was dropped on the other side. It's like their face.
Oh my God.
He seems upset. But she's a black woman, so I can't fucking say anything about it.
No. Unless he's a racist, you know. Unless he's a racist.
No,
we know those who work for CNN are not racist.
It was fucking awesome. That was awesome. There's been a lot of, like I said, man. There's been a lot of great both many great optics, pictures, videos coming out of like heroic acts, and maybe that's what the country needs, or a lot of the centrists need. At least people who are somewhat reasonable in the middle. Maybe those things are important to bring everyone together. Like, you know, maybe Texans aren't evil. Maybe men aren't evil.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, they're, you know, maybe shit like that is required from time to time. But they're when you start talking about far left, no, like I said, man, they're actually like demonizing the machismo of it all.
Yep.
Like, you know, one of the guys got like fired for saying Texas deserves this for voting for Trump or something.
Oh yeah, some douchebag professor.
Yeah. They finally, like, we've gotten back to normal where people can't, like, academics can't laugh at natural disasters while making Republican jokes. Like and good, man. Like, how evil do you have to be to laugh about human suffering? Like, it's like, dude, this is no laughing matter. This has nothing to do with ideology. It's like, you know, people are fucking losing shit streets, dying in the fucking streets, and you're making Trump jokes still, dickhead. So, you know, it's good. It's good that Texas has, you know, shined the last week, and I'm glad they have. You know, and maybe it's a galvanizing thing for people to, at least reasonable people that aren't completely fucking brainwashed, to come together.
Right. Absolutely, man. What else is going on?
Dude, there's a million things, man. We're keeping close eyes on all the new crypto shit coming out. Not only shit coming out, but a lot of the shit the government's rulings the SEC's making on it, or the government's looking at it. It used to be a pretty safe bet that, and I'm not sure if you've been keeping tabs on this too, they're trying to start regulating and keeping real close tabs on crypto to crypto swaps.
Yeah.
Where before the real taxable event, it was when you go back into fiat, like you could go from asset to asset and not have to fuck. So it's hard to keep tabs. The technology's moving so fast, and the ICOs are launching so fast, and there's and new exchanges are constantly, you know, coming up, and new regulations constantly coming in. It's hard to keep It's hard to keep tabs on all the regulation. And I think an article was released recently where like only 900 people or 800 people declared cryptos on taxes last year or a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Which raised, as our friends in Washington, that obviously raised a major red flag for them. So it looks like they're taking the gloves off, and they're gonna, you know, I would think and we're already seeing this. I would think the place they're going to start is the exchanges.
Yeah, dude, this whole thing that the IRS is putting out there, saying we're going to track all the algorithms and you know, see where all the transactions are going on the blockchain. So what? You don't know where. What do you see? You see going from one wallet to another. You don't know whose wallet that is. You don't know who owns that wallet.
That's what they're working on, though.
Right, and you know how they're doing is they're putting us into the ghettos, the exchange, what I'm calling the exchange ghettos of Coinbase and the like-minded exchanges.
That's where they want everyone.
Right.
They want everyone in the exchanges that have the same regulations as the bankers do. Like
Yep.
you give us a urine, you give us a copy of ID, give us your birth certificate, give us a urine test, thumbprint, DNA sample, and then you can open an account. Even then, that account's only for $100. To up the increase, we're also going to need your, your firstborn.
Yeah. And so take a picture now. Take a picture with your face holding a driver's license, and saying that you're using this only for cryptos. You're not going to use it for money laundering and all this other stuff. Well, doing all this weird KYC stuff.
Well, the greatest complaint we're getting from new clients is just that. It's not only are they making signing up for accounts a total nightmare, and this is clients, with their IRAs. So there's nothing nefarious going on. Everything's on grid. Everything is totally under the umbrella of your IRA. So it's not like you're not trying to vanish it from Uncle Sam. But the greatest grievance clients are giving us has nothing to do with us. It has to do with when they go to sign up for their exchange account. It's not only are the exchanges, you're right, they're bringing them to everyone's being forced into the Coinbases of the world, is that not only the exchanges making it incredibly difficult, the sign up customer and the know your customer laws and all that shit, it's that they're manipulating increase limits. And so that's how they're controlling it right now. They want more and more and more and more client data before and the difficulty, once you're in the crypto universe, it's really, and you probably already know this, it's really easy to move around from crypto to crypto. Where the regulators and government, the only place they have people really by the fucking balls is when you're looking to going in and out of fiat. When you're trying to go from fiat to crypto, or when you're trying to go from crypto to fiat, back to fiat, that's when they get you by the balls. That's when all the licensing comes in place. That's when money transmitter shit comes in place. That's when anti-money laundering comes in place. That's when capital gains tax comes in place. So that's when the regulators really fucking chime in. Fiat to crypto and crypto back to fiat. But once you get into the universe of crypto to crypto, it's pretty, to this day right now, it's still pretty fucking easy to move around. But they don't like free markets to operate the way they're supposed to operate. My famous quote anytime like someone's complaining about government, doesn't matter if it's a fucking a 20% hotel tax or a speeding ticket. I'm like, dude, they got to steal from somewhere. Like, I don't know what you're
exactly right.
I don't know what the fuck you're confused about. Like they point guns at people and take your shit. So like it's got to come from somewhere. So they don't like seeing the wild west as it. So you can't, cryptos are decentralized and you can't shut down the crypto itself, but the exchanges do have offices and do have management teams and do have people, you could come down on. Right. So that's or the wallet, a lot of the wallet companies, same thing. So you're a company that launches wallets. Like you do have a physical location, you do have management, you do have this. So that the government will go to choke points that they can control or clamp down on, or they'll control what they can in the space.
Right. It's as I tell people, man, if you have the opportunity to get a secondary passport or even a tertiary passport, just do it. Just do it. It's like you realize what's available to you once you start having a secondary passport. It's like the whole world opens up to you in terms of like what you can do with cryptos, investments. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, man.
I have full rights and ability to have full EU access and you could become a Greek citizen even if one of your parents was born there. Both my parents were born there, so I have 100%. The problem is Greece. If you become a citizen and you're under 45, they could stick you in the military for a year.
Oh, screw that.
Yeah, that as much as I love Greece and being patriotic, I can't like stop running a business and join the Greek military just for a passport. Like, so second passports are big business, but we don't do them for a living. But I've wanted to get one for a long time. Second citizenship somewhere. The only thing I would advise people is for your listeners, and I have no skin in the game. Again, I'm not trying to sell anything here, but just buyer beware. Like do your heavy research. I always think it's a good idea to have boots on the ground. When you start talking about international wiring or sending someone PayPal for a service or blah blah blah, like when that money's, or paying someone in Bitcoin, when that money's gone, it's gone. So a 100% value in second citizenship and international passports. I just have me personally, I have a few personal preferences. Even though it's easy for me to get my Greek citizenship, I speak Greek fluently, but I don't read and write it fluently. I read and write it in like a third grade level. So it's hard for me to review Greek contracts. So I would advise anyone who's looking at second citizenships, my personal preference, if you plan to internationalize, is somewhere that does have contracts in English, banking in English. It's an English-speaking Hong Kong, Singapore, Belize, places like that, that you could actually, review contracts, speak English to your lawyer, but do your research, make sure you're not being taken by someone promising something. And, there's a lot of, it's hard to go complain on the internet or to, a third party if someone takes you, right? So be careful when you're sending money to someone. If you're trying to get a second citizenship to some African country or something, be careful before you wire someone 10 grand. But I 100% fucking agree with you. I think it makes so much sense to me not to have one government have you by the balls. That just knowing in 2017, the planet, the way it currently functions, anytime the U.S. wants, they could just revoke anyone's passport and you fucking can't go anywhere.
Right.
And I think the last couple of years when Obama was still there, if the IRS even has an investigation against you, they could revoke your passport. That's a terrifying prospect, dude.
But it's freedom.
Yeah.
You don't like freedom?
It's that ties into civil asset forfeiture. It's like we're gonna shut you down and then we'll figure out if you're guilty or not later. So we're gonna lot, even before you've ever been arrested or convicted of anything. Even if we can just take your passport anytime we feel like it. That's a problem, dude. Like that means you're the government's slave. Like if they eliminate your ability to travel. Yeah. That's like Nazi Germany shit. Like now we have a problem. So I don't like one government having me by the balls for anything, for mobility, for capital, for it's if it goes the wrong way, then you're their bitch. Like guess what? So you've told me before, like you've looked into the Canada thing before too, haven't you?
Oh yeah, dude. What, the Canada thing?
Yeah, getting second citizenship or residency.
Oh yeah, dude. It was like this was like years ago, probably back in 2011 maybe or 2012, and I just wanted to see how it was like. It was like impossible. It's like they want, and then when they realized I'm an entrepreneur, they wanted me to put like $1 million into a bank. Just am I going to hire? How many Canadians am I going to hire when I get there? I'm like, shit, man, I might as well change my name to Ahmed Al Kaboom. I'll be invited with open arms of Justin Trudeau. I'll even bring my comfort goat with me.
You should have just told them.
I'm married.
You should have told them You should have told them the application. I fought in the Syrian civil war under the fucking. You should have said you're an enemy combatant, dude. They would have let you right in as a refugee.
They would have. I've killed many U.S. GI Joes. I am a Syrian freedom fighter.
I've been trying to kill Assad for 5 years. Will you let me in?
I've been trying to kill Assad for the last 5 years. I've had no luck. Many chemical weapons attacks were launched by me. I mean, by him.
Dude, isn't it incredible though? Like the fact that us like owning businesses and living in the U.S., we go to other countries and start asking questions about setting up the process or planting a flag or whatever. And all the countries like have 20 different things you have to do to comply. And that's just me. That's me and you trying to like play within the system and whatever. And here in this country, like apparently you could just, you know, come over whenever you feel like it, commit a few crimes. They can't even deport you for committing crimes. And like, so yeah.
God forbid you don't report something on your taxes. Oh God, you know.
Well, that's why I tell like these social justice warriors that are so they just pound the immigration thing into the fucking ground. I'm like, dude,
do you realize
I'm like, dude, you go.
Did you hear the study? Go ahead, finish up. I'll tell you about the study.
Well, I'm like, dude, go to another country. Go as an immigrant, not even as an immigrant. Go as a traveler. Go as an immigrant. It doesn't matter if you want to go to Mexico. Doesn't matter if you want to go to Greece. Doesn't matter if you want to go to fucking Singapore. Go to whatever country you want and start talking shit about their country. Like, go over there as an illegal visitor and start saying, fuck this system. I'm not going anywhere. Fuck you. Your government sucks. You suck. Go on the media. Go on Twitter and start blowing and see what the people of that country do to you. If I went to Mexico and I'm like, fuck you, if I went to Greece and I'm like, fuck you, Greeks, I want this, I want that, I want this. Like, dude, I'd get fucking stoned to death. They're like, fuck off. You're not even fucking from here. Like, you're not one of us. Fuck off.
Exactly.
Like, the fact that in America they've brainwashed all these fucking idiots into thinking like, oh yeah, just come over here and start bitching and say you're a victim and yeah, you deserve some free shit. And by the way, you got to vote right away, obviously. Like, dude, go try doing that in other countries and let me know if they're fucking cool with it. Like, it's a fucking joke.
It is a joke.
It's a fucking joke.
The London Guardian actually did a study. Actually they did an article about a study that I think another third-party organization did, and what they found out is that 92% of these Antifa social justice warrior idiots, 92% of them, and this is not going to be shocking to you, but it might be shocking to some of our listeners, 92% of them live with their parents.
I thought you were going to say specifically 92% live in the basement with their parents.
Yeah, basically.
No,
and they are all a bunch of white, middle-class, spoiled yuppies. These idiots are the inheritors of Western civilization. These worthless curmudgeons.
Literally 92%, no bullshit.
Literally, no bullshit. 92% of them live at home with mommy and daddy. And their way of rebelling is just their way of saying, F you, mom, F you, dad.
Well,
it's their way of doing it. There really couldn't be, dude, there couldn't be any other explanation, because so many of these riots, like, happen, like, in the middle of the week during business hours. Like, so did I think they were, have white collar or blue collar jobs? No, they can't. It's 2 p.m. and they're burning down a city. Like, yeah. So they're either unemployed or basement dwellers, or like who the fuck is paying? Like, so yeah, it had to be something to that effect. There was no other. I don't think they were taking days off of work. Like they weren't telling their construction foreman, I gotta take off today and go burn a city. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Yeah, no, they're basement dwellers, dude. Every single last one of them with useless degrees and non-STEM fields, like without
and with parents who've done nothing but give them participation awards and then telling them how great they are their entire life. This is what happened.
It's a failed. There's been a breakdown somewhere in failed parenting strategies, and I've heard this argument made pretty convincingly. And I don't have kids, so I haven't read 20 books on what to expect when you're expecting all that shit.
I read that.
I don't know all the different parenting philosophies. So, but somewhere along the line, like there's been a breakdown. Some things went wrong, and I don't know. I've always thought. Correct me if I mean, it's just me. The conversation I had with my brothers. I think it's some healthy balance between discipline versus affection. Like, yeah. And which kind of ties into the mother and father role. Like the father provides like the discipline and objectivity, and the mother provides like the
God.
And the mother provides the nurturing affection, right? So too much of either one is bad. If it's too much discipline and too much cracking down, the kid's gonna enter the world super pissed and bitter, and you know, fucking just be violent as too much affection.
And too much affection.
It's a pansy. It's like a total pussy pansy mama's boy.
Or they come out hyper aggressive. Look at the Pantifa members. It's the craziest thing in the world. Anything can happen. Well,
dude, they're feminine. They're like toddlers. They're feminized toddlers. They're toddlers. They're like 4-year-olds who like too much. They're total pussies, and they're 4-year-olds who like didn't get their way, and they're like freaking out about it. So they're lashing out like a toddler would. Yeah. It's so I think that'd be my, you know, me and my brothers talk about it all the time. It's like, yeah, we gotta, you know, show them love, obviously, but at the same time, like,
they need an ass beating, bro.
You gotta prep them for the real world. Like, this is the way the world works. You don't always win. You don't always lose. People fuck you over. It's disappointment. It's not all fucking cocaine and hookers. It's not a Motley Crue video. Like, bad shit happens to you. Like, so, you know, you got to get them ready for the real world, dude. And it's how they react to those realities is kind of determines if they're men or not. Like, you know, you can't have a fucking hissy fit every time something doesn't go your way. Sorry. So yeah, man, it's 92% is like you even said. It's not shocking to, I don't think, either one of us at all.
No, it's comical. You know,
it also explains kind of what me and you both have, you know, talked about for a while. They have nothing to lose, dude.
Right.
They don't, when you don't have fear of losing your property, your career, your job, your net worth, your whatever. Like, me and you have skin in the game. We have something to lose.
Absolutely.
These basement dwellers don't give a fuck. That's why they want to burn it down. That's why they're demanding free. That's why they're demanding free shit. They're like, I don't have shit. You have shit. Give me your shit, or I'm going to burn it down. Like, that's the whole sales pitch. It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Plus, you know, their parents always have given them participation awards, right? So because they've been getting participation awards and being winners just for showing up, they don't value anything. There's no value. You know, like it's not like you and I when we did something wrong, our parents beat the shit out of us. Okay, it's just so it's like, yeah, we learn value real quick. You know, ain't nobody nobody's beyond an ass beating. You know, I think that goes for you, me, and CJ. You know, so.
No, dude. To this day, every time I bitch to my mom, like she's still like, I could tell she's like tempted to punch me. The old school European way was, anyway, and this might be, obviously, I'm not saying that's the right way.
Let's not say European. Let's say the old school Mediterranean way, the Greeks, the Italians.
Well, here's what, and I've called my mom. To this day, I call my mom out on this. If we as parents, this is the way they thought, and I'm not saying today we should take it to this way, but this is the way it was done when I was growing up. If we didn't kill you or molest you, shut the fuck up. Like, exactly. If you're still alive and no one molested you, shut the fuck up.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if it was child labor. It doesn't matter if it was grandpa or mom attacking me with a cane or a belt or whatever, or me washing dishes when I'm 6 years old. Shut the fuck up. Like, we don't care. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Those were their parameters, and maybe that's extreme, but it's like, you know, at least we kind of got some balls. Like, I don't bitch a lot anymore. Like, so that's the way it was done then. And now it's like apparently you could send your parents to prison if they don't give you estrogen pills when you're 6.
Yep,
like,
exactly.
We've gone full tilt, like liberal utopia, where the kids get confiscated if you don't acknowledge they might be a unicorn when they're 7. So yeah, no, dude, we talk about it. I wish we were talking in hyperbole, like fictional hyperbole, but all this shit we're talking about is true, dude. Like, it's real world shit. Like, if I would have told you this 15 years ago, would you be like, dude, now are you writing a science fiction fucking thriller about the future? Like, no, this is our reality right now. Like, this is what we're going through. LA just got rid of Columbus Day.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Dude, it's official. Yeah, Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah, why do these idiots in Hollywood market Native Americans like a bunch of like tree-hugging, peaceful hippie people that lived in teepees and walked around and smoked peyote all day?
Dude,
Why do they do that? That's a bunch of horse shit, man.
Dude, it's the second largest city in the country. Like, it's not a. This is happening, and you let it slip. I heard. I don't know if it was when me and you were talking, or if I was listening to one of your other interviews. If we end up losing this thing 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you're right. It's going to be to like the fembot, tranny, we're basically going to become like a Sweden, like a socialist, social justice warrior. No more free speech. You can't even complain if your daughter gets raped by a fucking immigrant. Like it's a refugee. Like it's you like that. That'll be our reality. That's what they want. Dude, Thanksgiving is next. Christmas will be after that. Like Thanksgiving is obviously the Pilgrims were evil. Like that's got to go. Christmas, well, we know how liberals feel about Christianity. They hate the shit out of it. Like that's got to go real soon. It's everything. They don't want our history. They don't want our culture. They don't want any of it. It's all the devil.
Right, because our culture sucks. I mean, Western culture is just garbage. I mean, what culture we're gonna adopt? Because the left has no culture.
It's the culture of looting and parasites.
Right. It's the culture of complaining. It's the culture of doing nothing, just sitting around and being useless. That's what the culture is for. It has nothing to do with winning. It has nothing to do. There's no culture. So it's a culture of weakness. And what happens is that cultures that are when you replace culture and you have nothing but culture, but you have in place of culture a political schizophrenic ideology like what the left has. Historically, what happens is that it becomes supplanted by an aggressive, much more stronger culture, i.e., Islamofascism.
Well, those will be their alphas. Those will be their muscle. You know, like they'll love it too. Yeah, and we've talked like you're as long as you're not a Republican, you're allowed to be alpha in them. Like if you're a jihad liberal, like you could be alpha, you're fine. They won't touch you. You're safe. It's the Republican alpha they don't like. If I've in 2 interviews. There was one in the last week. I saw them both, and then I started like comparing notes on everything I've been hearing the last 2 years. It doesn't matter if it's a feminist, a Black Lives Matter person, an Antifa person, all the social justice warrior groups that are currently destroying humanity right now. Every time after their first grievance is always what social justice group they're in. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, dude. I just started noticing it this week. Their second grievance is always capitalism. So they'll let it doesn't. If you listen to a feminist, she'll start off by saying sexist. So sexist will be her first complaint, and then after sexist, she'll go right into demonizing capitalism. Black Lives Matter does the same thing. They say racism, and then they say capitalism. So just on Tucker Carlson, like yesterday or 2 days ago, she goes, "This racist, good cannot prosper in this racist capitalist system." Like it always comes back to capitalism. Like. So they dangle the social justice warrior carrot, and Antifa does the same thing with this fascist capitalist system. Like, so they'll dangle the carrot for social justice. They'll say, all right, this is how we get the zombies to follow us. And then it comes back to the capitalism thing. Like, oh, and by the way, we're going to steal your shit. This is really about shutting you down and stealing your fucking money. Like, so it's sort of like, it's all a sales pitch. And the sales pitch is the social justice part of it. And then when you get down to the meat and potatoes in regard to what it's all about, we got to take shit from the producers and give it to the parasites. That's it. That's what it's about.
Why should they work? Why should they do anything?
Yeah, it's rationalizing theft. That's all it is. They're rationalizing theft with a victim ideology. That's what all of this fucking shit comes down to. It doesn't matter what they politicize, dude. Everything. We were talking about Wonder Woman, right? Wonder Woman.
Why does she have armpit hair?
everything is fucking politicized. Dude, did I used to, dude, I love fucking, me and you grew up on fucking Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
Like, the last thing
Eddie
I
Murphy
thought of,
raw.
dude, Eddie Murphy couldn't be a stand-up today. They'd crucify him. They crucified Chappelle 6 months ago because he made a few tranny jokes.
Exactly.
Like, everything has to be politicized. Everything has to be done through their prism, and like they can't just be normal. They can't laugh. Like, you can't make fun. We can't make fun of each other anymore. We can't. A movie, a comedy, a show. Everything is. You know what? That woman. They really made the woman look like dumb in that movie. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, who cares if they did? Everything's a social justice warrior prism, dude. It's fucking insane.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Dude, you remember the 80s as vividly as I do. Like, a lot of people said offensive shit all the time, and everyone was like, yeah, we were fine with it. We're like, all right, that's pretty fucking funny. Like, all right, you know,
exactly, dude.
It is what it is. Like, you know, it's people get offended. You can't go through life, the whole world walking on eggshells because one person might get offended. It's like, come on, dude, fuck.
Exactly right.
No, I'm not as angry this week as I was last. Like I said, in May, and the Houston thing did make me feel good. I like seeing people helping each other. You know, maybe there is fucking hope for us.
That's because you're a Nazi.
Yeah, I'm a Nazi. Men saving babies is evil.
Yo, you're an evil racist.
You're
pro-life.
There were plenty of pictures of fucking black guys saving babies too, and I love it all. I love it all. Men being men, dude. Good on them.
And irrespective of race, color, or creed, doing manly things by stepping up and being true Americans, man.
Just be a fucking dude. Yeah.
You know, the best advice my dad ever gave me was this: don't be an asshole your entire life. That's it.
That's good advice.
Word to the wise. Don't be. I mean, this is what you want to say to this generation of lefties. Come on, don't be an asshole your entire life.
My old man's most advice that, well, he gave me a lot of tidbits, but the one that sticks out to me is the most was don't fuck out other men out of money or a woman.
That's it.
He pounded that in my head a lot. He's like, you're not going to lose many friends. You're not going to make many enemies, and out of money or woman. And if you could follow those two rules, you're not going to have to go through life looking over your shoulder.
You don't mess with a man's money, and you don't mess with a man's honey. That's it.
No, dude, that's when men lose their minds. We're not as complicated as everyone makes us out to be.
Absolutely.
You know, I could live with anyone. You could talk shit, call me names, whatever.
I mean, dudes are easy, bro. I mean, you see how catty women are? Oh my god! You put like 10 chicks in a house, they're ready to kill each other.
Oh yeah, they're much more. I've always found it without me stereotyping it. I always found they're much more competitive about irrelevant things.
They really are.
Like who has the nicer purse and who has the nicer car and who's like. I don't care. Like, I don't, and that's why I don't get mad when, dude, me and my buddies argue all the time. Sometimes I'll get into it with, not everyone thinks I'm the greatest person ever, and I'm okay with that. Even doesn't matter if it's like people busting balls on even on interviews or YouTube. I'm like, dude, I don't care. If you don't fucking owe me money, I don't give a shit. Like, say whatever. Yeah, say whatever the fuck you want. As long as you didn't fuck me out of money, and you're not trying to bang my girl. Like, we're good, dude. You say whatever the fuck you want. Vent away, motherfucker. I'll be fine. So yeah, I think thick skin is important. You have to have alligator skin if you're gonna be able to fucking handle, especially in this political environment.
I agree. I totally agree.
Dude, honest question for you.
Sure.
How much fucking cheese has CJ eaten in the last hour?
He's probably polished off 2 pounds with a mountain of crackers. He's already gotten like two bottles of Jack Daniels.
I had I had 2 slices of Colby Jack with some really nice almond nut thins, nut and rice cracker snacks, low sodium, gluten free. How's that?
Dude, that is perfect.
Was your Jack Daniels low sodium and gluten free as well?
now that's for me to go to the parent teacher organization meeting tonight and meet my son's teachers.
That's what it is.
Reeking of whiskey and fucking Swiss. That's fucking awesome. You start calling her a fucking communist, and like, sir, you smell like bourbon. You're like, oh, hey, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. That's already they're this early in the year, the parent teacher shit.
Jeez.
Yeah, it started. My kid, believe it or not, for our school district, they started back second week into August, so early.
Yeah,
dude, they sent. I don't know if we spoke about it last week or not. They sent in California at some charter school. They sent a first grader to the office for misgendering someone. Literally a 6-year-old. So, like, wow. Yeah. The kid literally a 6-year-old kid. He misgendered someone, and they sent him. He had to go to the office.
That's what's important. That's what's important, that we get our genders right. Mm-hmm.
Well, I wasn't sure if at this point, and this was in California, so again, take it with a grain of salt. I wasn't sure how systemic has gotten. I've been hearing like, and I think me and V talked about it last week. I've been hearing from mainstream friends as they're getting older that the kid, like, they're starting to take their kids to college. They're like, day one of college is like, sensitivity orientation, tranny orientation shit. So I wasn't. Yeah, I know. I think both your guys' kids are all younger, so I wasn't sure if like you guys were seeing it on the elementary.
Private school for me, buddy. We don't deal with that shit. Private school all the way.
I didn't see it so much that, but what I did see last year was some intrusive homework assignments in regards to what's in your home. What are you eating? What is the distance from this to this? Just, what I felt was just trying to gain information.
Give us the blueprint of your house.
Yeah.
Where does your father keep his guns?
Like, literally,
what are the safety dangers inside your home?
Like, literally trying to get the kids to spy on their parents.
Yep, that's all.
Well, that's what it seemed more to me than, I can get it if it's, hey, test the batteries on your fire alarm, something of that nature, but not that, hey, can you point out the dangers, in your home?
Sure.
What does your dad store his booze?
Yeah. Can you point out the dangers in your home? They put a picture of fucking CJ on there. They're like, here's the fucking danger. No, at what point, what kind of things cause the parents to rise up? Like, I saw a documentary on like one of the Antifa leaders, like the Black Bloc bitch, and she's like, it's this like short little Asian woman, and she's like, she's like the leader, dude. She's a middle school teacher. So the school district's been trying to fire this cancerous cult leader bitch for like ever. And she'll like parade the kids in and like have the kid. So she'll like coach the kids on what to say, and she'll recruit the kids. So I was trying to figure out, like, at what point, like, do the parents, or can the parents get together and like rise up if the indoctrination becomes so heavy? Or like, at what point do you know when teachers have crossed the line where you could fight back? And I don't know the answer. I'm kind of just thinking out loud right now. But a lot of it is freaky shit, dude. The fact that they could brainwash these 5-year-olds, these 10-year-olds, these 15-year-olds. It's like, and it's a stranger. It's some fucking bitch or dude that like the kid's gonna know for a year, and it's trying to convince them to hate their parents. Like, that's fucking like scary, inappropriate, evil, dangerous shit. Like, so I don't know where the line is drawn, or how parents can protect their kids or fight back or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm in the Midwest, so I don't see it here. I totally get V sending his child to private school, but in the Midwest, very conservative, and I, for the most part, haven't witnessed a whole lot of that. But by all means, definitely a visit to the superintendent's office, the PTO, to express concern. with the digital age, it's amazing how much now the parents can get involved. Like, for example, the school's using this program called Canvas, and it's like a website for all homework calendar that the kids can utilize, and the parents can actually get a view. So I thought I was going to be a rock star dad, right? I downloaded the app. I sent it for the text alerts, and now my phone is like freaking going off 25 times a day because my kids are late on turning stuff in.
So you thought it'd be an awesome tool for transparency, but now it's just like fucking.
It's enslavement.
Yeah, it's too much.
Oh, I've uninstalled the app already, and I did the #stop on the text message alerts.
Delete the app, and got to get rid of that. Too many fucking notifications.
But you're right though. It is a legitimate concern, because I think that's where it starts, is at the education level with conditioning our kids. I think the Fed comic book that just came out is a perfect example of their agenda of pushing out social, pushing out information to the kids that we need to accept these government indoctrination into these programs, like the Federal Reserve.
Well, there's so much danger in letting, it doesn't matter if it's the culture or the schools. Not only are we letting them fully indoctrinate the kids, but now with social media, kids could do some serious harm. Once something goes electronic, dude, like there's no fucking going back. So like between taking a screenshot of it, or it's like part of your permanent blueprint. If someone wants to fuck you over or pull up shit you've said in the past or stupid shit you've done, like it's just out there for the world to see. So between them brainwashing the kids and kids still trying to figure out who they are, and at the same time letting the whole, having electronic documentation of all this shit. Like you get kids and 12 years old, on Facebook, and all through college, they're putting shit on there. And like kids could do some real fucking damage to their future. Like, they could put shit online that they can't fucking take back.
Right.
So you're brainwashing them, and then you're letting them put up blueprints that could fuck them in adulthood. And there's a lot, God bless you guys for being parents. It's got to be like a 24-hour a day, 7 days a week, like constant headache and worrying. Like, are they okay? Well, how many people are trying to do this? So like, there's like so many dangers and evils and parasites in every single fucking direction that it's got to be hard to just try to protect them from all of it,
Well, if you ever want to have one or borrow one for the weekend, let me know.
You're not. No, shockingly, between my brothers, I found out it's much easier to just show up as the cool Uncle Gus, make it rain Toys R Us for a couple hours. Let's go to the batting cages. I'll show you how fast I can drink whiskey while you're swinging. Like, I'll be the cool Uncle Gus who smokes even in places he's not allowed to. Tell a few jokes. The minute they get irritated or tired or need like anything where it like requires maximum effort, that's when I know it's time to like drop them back off. Like, okay, time to, here you go. They're getting angry with something. Take them back.
That's it.
So no, it's a hard job, man. You got to be. It's a full-time job. I get it's a role model. They're smart. They're sponges. They absorb everything. Like they're a handful, and God bless them. They're fucking blood. So there's nothing more important than family, dude.
Absolutely correct. Gus, that brings us to the end of the broadcast. And for those who are interested in knowing yet more about the man that they call Gus Demos, you can check him out on perpetualassets.com. If you got a 401k and you're biting your fingernails because you're worried your 401k will become a 101k, call Gus and his partner Will over at perpetualassets.com, and these guys will help you roll over that useless 401k sitting there doing nothing, if anything, probably even losing money at this point. Get you into your own self-directed IRA where you can invest in cryptos, in gold, in silver, in whatever the heck you want. You want to go buy art? You want to go get some investment-grade diamonds? Heck, do it with your own investment-directed IRA. So it's all on you. It's on you and what you want to do and how you want to invest it. And Gus and Will set that up for you.
Appreciate the kind words. Had a blast as always. I will. I'll be in Las Vegas this weekend celebrating Labor Day.
Nice. When you coming up to New York, man?
Dude, I was supposed to fucking treat my mom to that trip for her fucking birthday, and I was going to swing by and see you. I'm taking her. She's meeting her sister from Australia instead in LA.
Okay.
I meet them in LA, but my buddy just launched a clothing line or something. So he's pounding into me to meet him in Manhattan for a weekend. I guess it's like Fashion Week in fucking New York in September sometime.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is.
So I think I want to make it out this month. Like I said, I'll swing out by you for a couple days, and I'll hang with my boy in Manhattan for a couple days too. So yeah, let's coordinate for sure. As soon as I know for sure, I'll coordinate with you, lock the fucking down, and we'll make it happen.
Game on, buddy. Game on. CJ, take it away.